Hi folks, as you know, quality of the video is poor, audio quality is lame, and all that. So this in place, trigger warnings in place. I would like to talk about Alex Jones. Yeah, me talking about him. Who would have said? Well, anyway, if our corporational media, yeah, lighting is horrible, it's green around my eyes, man, if this I must be radioactive by now. Pretty sure I am. But if the corporate media just would have shut their mouth and be for freedom of speech, you know what would have happened with Alex Jones? He would have been called a hypocrite currently by the internet. Because the internet can be many things, but one thing it surely is, and I've been here a lot, is that the internet is unforgiving against hypocrisy. You can be many things in the internet, but if you are authentic, they respect you. When you're lying your ass off, they will fly over you like a sumo wrestler. They're merciless against hypocrisy. Again, I'm talking about Alex Jones now that he has become a martyr for the internet, and a very dangerous kind of martyr, because martyrs usually, they used to be killed, they used to be dead before they became martyrs. Because they were slaughtered, they became martyrs by doing something noble or fighting for the right cause or whatever it is. As it is now, he is a martyr without being dead, and that's very dangerous. Why? Because he can still fight if he wants. Do you understand? He's not dead. So if they wanted to get rid of him, they surely got rid of him temporarily. Like the ball is in his court, if you understand what I mean. Now he has everything in his hands, plus the martyrdom. And it's fascinating to see, and why I might have my criticism against the corporate media, because apparently they're dumb. Seems to be, because it's not possible. If they would have just let the man keep talking, he would just be caught in another slander, and he would just be paying fines until his credibility, even with his followers, would be gone. But no, like right now, like I've seen the people in Fortune, some people catching up with the fact that he was watching tranny porn. You know, if it wasn't for the fact that he was now being kicked out of all the platforms, he had been deplatformed from the internet. Like the biggest corporations apparently gathered up and got him expelled from everywhere. Now he has everything to rally up the people that believed in his conspiracy theories. And believe me, most of what he's doing is kind of like wrestling in a way. Well, some people do believe in wrestling. Another example, like I met a very famous journalist when I was living in Brazil. There was a guy previous to Alex Jones. So when Alex Jones popped up, I went, that style. It is actually a style of journalism. And that guy, he used to speak like this, and always like this, very serious, very focused, that something was wrong. And he was very popular. First I heard him in the radio, and then I heard him in TV because he got so popular. I don't remember if his name was Gil Gomes or Raul Gil. I don't remember his real name, long time ago. Probably from before you were born even. We would talk like this. And the thing is that if you, like, they gave interviews later on when he became so famous, and he was just talking naturally, just like I'm talking, naturally as any human being. And you could barely recognize him because he was completely different. Even his haircut was different. But in TV, he had this really, like, countryside haircut, and he would talk like this. You know, you wouldn't recognize him in real life. Alex Jones goes that, but it doesn't go the whole way. Like, he's more on the crazy binge side and not serious side. Um, but it's a style of journalism, and it appeals to a part of the population in a very interesting manner. Um, it sells, definitely, you know. And you get the news. Like, simple people probably need that kind of stuff to understand, to filter what is being said. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. I know a lot about it, but I can only guess why it fires up neurons in the brains of so many people. But it does. So might have something of our primal instincts into it. I don't know. So if it wasn't for him being deplatformed by the corporations that technically rule the web nowadays, or are trying to rule the web, he would have been discredited by the whole court watching tranny porn. They found tranny porn in his iPhone or smartphone, whatever is it he uses. Like, I care much, but I care about the how, you know, he could have been gone by now, completely discredited. He would be retired if he wanted by now, because he was discredited by what he was saying and then what he was doing. He already had to go to court and say that it was an act, that it's just performance, which I agree. I have to agree, because I've seen it being done by other journalists around the world, and it works pretty fine. It sells a lot. Sure, you might not be invited to the birthday of the Queen in some countries or by some very prominent politicians for some obvious reasons, but others will, you know, and some people really respect you. Despite the fact you were ripping off your shirt and screaming to the camera to call attention. But fair enough, it's a style. I respect that. He is authentic in that style. Good for him. I love to see him confronting ideologically driven people, because he knows exactly their gimmicks and he doesn't play along. He knows how to just switch it off, like they don't have response because they can't stop him using the classical shaming that they do. You know, oh, you are this, you are this, you are that, and he's just getting ready for a fight. Like, fantastic to watch. Performance, good performance. Because he's bringing at the same time a lot of interesting topics. Every now and then he goes too far as to accuse people from owners of restaurant of being mastering a pedophile ring. And sure, we can debate if the owners there are into some kinds of kink and some really bad taste about art, that I wouldn't call it that. But to the extent that he better have real proof, because that's a serious allegation. It destroys a reputation. People kill themselves, and I can understand, you know, because nobody wants to do business with them. What kind of people are you? So for that, he had to go to court, and then he had to say, look, this is all an acting, this is all performance. He lost the case, and fair enough. Conspiracy theories or not, we still have some good laws out there. I can hear some friends of mine anarchists screaming in the background, but let's face it, in the current times that we're living with, the population amassed to believe in certain things, we unfortunately need laws. As soon as people see the light of that they don't need to worry or be concerned, or they actually should have right to a whole lot of things would be different. But until then, you know, it takes around 15 to 25 years to create a new dynamic to a society. So we are not there yet. So we need laws currently, unfortunately. You know, to the majority of people, I don't care what you think, facts are facts. The majority would beg to differ, and they have way more force and power and will than you probably do. So, for now, this. The thing is, if they just let the man speak, by now, because of the gay porn, tranny porn is gay porn. I'm actually posting a link below of this being stated by an actual tranny. But Alex Jones was very vehemently against gay sex, the whole gay frog thing, remember? They're turning our frogs gay. I mean, like, gay would be a bad thing. I don't know. Never did it. You know, feel free to check. So, you won't catch me in such a hypocrisy. And I'm not saying anything against gay people. I have many friends that happen to be gay. So, prominently so. So I don't have anything against gay per se. So, it's not hypocrisy. You understand? If one day I happen to watch tranny porn, I might paint something. I'm an artist, amongst other things. I might paint even some transsexual or gay scene, like, because I find it an interesting current topic that was taboo for such a long time, despite being all over the place. If you check classical art, you will see it all over the place. But, you know, they just wouldn't talk about it because church. But all over the place. I mean, there is plenty of gay sex in classical art. You just need to pay attention and look at it with critical eyes. You'll see. You'll see what I mean. Anyway, I'm posting the opinion of a tranny per se, one of the top ones, because I find her funny and amusing, so I watch her stuff every now and then. She is funny. So she or he, I don't know, I don't care. I see he as a she. That doesn't mean I want to fuck it, but I hope you get the point. It's funny that we need to explain ourselves. Yeah, why are you explaining yourself so much? Anyway, so I'm just well informed. Bite me. Want to keep that pulse with reality, that pulse, so I need to be aware of everything I can. He was caught watching gay porn in his iPhone or whatever, and that was being brought to light. And people of 4chan, people of Killstream, people of, yeah, I know about those things. I exist. I am in the web after all. You eventually bump or are bumped into by those people, so it's inevitable. And they were starting to make fun, and they even make a few shows kind of poking. But you see, he became a martyr. He was completely deplatformed. The nightmare of any edgelord, of any shitlord, of any of the internet lords, of the people who rule the waves of the internet. Although they kind of desire it because it gives them a humongous edge, because they will be seen as rock stars. Then they are officially against establishment if they are deplatformed to that level. But still, does a lot of damage. He probably lost a lot of money, which for him is not a problem. And he has, but now his followers are going to go really hardcore defending him. Because you see, it was not because he was caught in a lie. It was not because he was caught even watching porn, gay porn, that he apparently did watch a lot of. And that would have been his bane. If he wasn't suffering censorship, if they weren't out there to get him. That would have been his end. He could retire after that, because there would be no way, if the people of 4chan, if it wasn't for the fact that he had been crucified by the media, and he's still alive, he can fight back. Now it's up to him. Now he can do anything he wants. He went as far as to have the president in his channel. possible reason why they're after him, because now elections are coming in the US and they want to get rid of any platform that might support the Republican Party. That's why I can conclude that he was the platform so vehemently. He will come back. They will let him back as soon as the election is over. That's how those people think, it seems, because that's the pattern. That's a pathos that I'm seeing again and again and again and again. They didn't know what to do when they lost the elections. They started going after potential people who promote the other side. The other side, as crazy as it sounds. When Democrats used to be about freedom, right? Now they're not, for some odd reason. Why? Because they're the establishment now. And freedom might be prejudicial to them, as crazy as it might seem. Instead of rolling with it, I really don't know what's going on. Because this generation that is censoring everything, this older generation that is censoring everything, they are the ones whose motto was, it's forbidden to forbid. Do you understand? They burn universities, those now adults, now old age retiring people. They used to protest, they used to set fire to universities, to firebomb the police. I don't understand, for the sake of freedom. I don't get it. They were doing orgies, homosexual orgies, bisexual orgies, everybody fucking everybody during the late 60s, early 70s. Ooh, that was the thing, man. So now, oh, it's wrong, and this is wrong, and that is wrong, and this is wrong, and that cannot. No, so boiling down to it, they don't want to lose again, but they will, and especially after that. I mean, goodbye. And that's why they wanted to get rid of him, which is stupid, because if they just let him speak, and this is what freedom of speech is good for. If you just let a person speak, and that includes me, I might be saying things and people might say, oh, he's so intelligent, he's so, but eventually, I don't know, I will get overconfident and say some nonsense or bullshit, and everybody is going to fall over me. Not that it didn't happen before in my life, and in the internet especially. But so I know, I'm aware of it. You know, I'm kind of jaded in it. And the internet is good to jade you. You know, it roughens you up. And look, this is reality. That's the way. There is no escape from this. You have to face who you are and what you do, because they will know. Anyone who wants will find out anything they want to find out about, even if it is not true. But that's for another topic. Thing is, they just let him roll. The whole watch gay porn, that would have been the end of his career, because you know, look, he's talking about gay frogs, but he turned gay, and they had the memes started being done, and there were gay flags with him, and you know, like, that would have been the end of him. Why? Not because he was the crazy, raging conspiracy theorist that they tried to call him and failed miserably. He didn't care. It's part of his journalistic style anyway, so for him it's more money. But it would have shown, okay, all this talk that homosexuals and like a largest portion of his followers believe that homosexuality is in fact bad. And when he himself is caught watching porn, watching gay porn, probably on a daily basis, and probably to it, he could retire, because that probably he wouldn't have been able to come back from, if it wasn't the fact that the corporational media crucified him, like kicked him out of the web, literally. That he will come back after the elections. There is no way around it. Well, although now it's up to him. I cannot, of course, predict what is going to happen, but as soon as the elections are over, they will eventually let him back. Do you understand? They just think that this might be a cause. They don't get it yet. It's because their ideas are wrong, that people don't want to do with them. No, that they were the Freedom Party, and that made them popular. But then they decided to be the censor party, and they don't get that still, that it's the censor part, it's being a bitch, being a little whiny bitch having tantrums, that drives people away from them. It's the fact that they're insulting people, that they're not letting people speak, that is driving people away from them. This is not China. We are a very different culture. And I really don't believe we are going to be in China, or like that we are going to be a China. You know, it's a very different mindset, I believe. I have reasons to believe. I met many people from China. I worked with them, I studied with them. I have some friends. Man, what kind of friends don't you have? Yeah, good question. And I can assure you that this saved him. This saved him. It saved him. It shielded him from the ridicule that he wouldn't have survived. Alex Jones wouldn't have survived the ridicule that the internet had in store for him for being caught watching gay porn, as silly as it might sound. They would have been merciless, and they tried, but it was not so popular. People didn't want to hear that about him. Then they wanted to hear what happens to him now instead. Do you understand? And the whole Rubio thing, like Rubio saying to him that he doesn't know who he is, being part of a case about internet censorship, and Alex Jones being one of the biggest victims. And at the same time, Rubio's body language completely changed, and Rubio literally threatened to attack him physically. What kind of nonsense is that? You do know, Rubio, that in the US you can actually file a lawsuit against you because you openly threatened to attack him physically, right? And I know people who ended up in jail for saying that kind of stuff to somebody. They ended up in jail. They spent some months there because they said that they were going to do that. So if Alex Jones has plenty of money, if he wanted to do that, he would put you in court, regardless of your position, my friend. So you're already kind of discredited after the last elections. Do you understand? Rubio would be in little Rubio, like big trouble in little Rubio, like definitely. But no, Alex Jones was saved by this censorship. That saved him. Because the gay porn thing would have destroyed him, showing he's a hypocrite. Like, preacher men cannot really come out of sex scandals. Why scandal? Because it's something that they claim to be prominently against, and suddenly they are caught doing exactly that, which tends to be a pattern there in terms of those big figures. But I don't think he would have survived in terms of popularity. Like, sure, we would have interviews of him kind of 10, 20 years from now where they ask him, but how do you feel after all this time? And he would claim victim. Oh, they attempted, the Illuminati attempted, just for the giggles, so people could see an oddity of the past. You understand? Like, there's several people that were somehow prominent in the past, and where are they now? And then they go and interview, and that person is just, you know, a wreckage of what they were previously, and they are just whining about when it went wrong and that it was never their fault. So it's going to be interesting to see now what happens in that sense. Although I don't watch Alex Jones, to be honest, I have watched a little of his material, enough to know what he was doing. Sometimes I watch the thing with the Young Turks that he confronts the 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 guy there who actually defends the, like, tries to justify the Armenian genocide, and I find it so amazing that there's an Armenian working for him. Armenian working for him. It's really interesting. You know, the psyche of certain people. Some people really like to suffer, don't they? It's amazing to see. They literally seek for it. But anyway, just interesting touch. The whole point with this video was to try my best to illustrate, if I could, that if it wasn't for the fact that the cooperative media went after Alex Jones, his career would have been destroyed by the whole gay porn. And you can say whatever you want, but I saw the material that was being presented, but because he got the victimhood status, he was saved. So now the ball is in his court, because otherwise he would have had no chance of survival. He would have to retire, because, you know, his shtick as the pro old Republican values would have been gone. You know, Alex Jones watches tranny porn. Ha ha. You know, that would be the joke. He was already kind of hysterical and all that. He was kind of a butt of a joke, but people still kind of admired his, you know, he stands for what he seems to believe, whatever is it he believes. I'm pretty sure he doesn't believe half of the things that he's saying, just like Ann Coulter, you know, but that's for another topic. You know, intelligent people play intelligent games that they are something for themselves that people don't really know about. You know, it's self-amusement, and if they can get something out of it, they will. And if they can get a lot of it, they will continue playing that game, you know, because it's amusing and people believe. It's like wrestling. Do you think wrestling is real? Like, the whole thing. So where's the blood? Like, try doing that in real life with somebody with a full grown up. You'll see how much blood comes out of it. You know, it doesn't seem to be the case in wrestling for some odd reason. It's because all the moves are trained. They're trained before the event. Every now and then an accident happens, but accidents happen in workplaces as well. It's not because they intended to be. But thing is, you know, it's just a scene for people who want to have fun. They don't want to think about stuff. They just want to chill out after a whole week of hell in work. You know, some people have it really rough. So yeah, in short, if it wasn't for the fact that he now has, at least for as long as this political election happens in the US, the victimhood status, he has been saved from obliteration by the internet. Because I saw the material that was coming against him, if one can say it such. You know, his career would have been over. Just my 2 cents about it. If you disagree, of course, talk to me below.